You may, in the beginning of this week, you might be hermiting or just getting out of like a hermit situation where you are just focusing on your inner calling and your own guidance, and you really don't want to be around people. It's pretty much when you take a step back and you are observing not only people around you, but also yourself. Because you've been through a lot, and like you just feel like because of the situations that you have been in the past and even just present, you're in your thoughts, but it's not to a point where it's like crushing. Like you're not over here like mentally crushing your brain. Okay, I just see that you're reflecting on a lot of things. Now, I do see here that this week you might be dealing with either a Capricorn or an Aquarius that is going to be like trying to get in your energy, and they might try to throw you off. Like, okay, so you are being really focused with yourself, Leo. And you might have somebody around you this week that, I don't know, is given like kind of careless, or somebody here that doesn't really like, this is somebody here that I feel like maybe broken your trust in the past, or made you feel some type of way where maybe you did have to distance yourself from this person, or maybe just everybody. But this person definitely, I feel like, is included within this situation where you were thrown off a little bit with even having this person in your energy. And this person is coming in very flighty. Okay, so they might have like a scattered brain, all right? And this person, you know that this individual is unpredictable, because you know that like having this person around, you know that there might be end up being some conflict, or it's given like it could be a family member or friend, Leo, that, or it's either or. It's somebody here that you are close with, but you just know when you hang out with this person or have them in your energy that anything can happen. And I feel like I'm talking to a Leo that's like really just fed up with people, where you just want to be left alone. Because you, with the Seven of Pentacles, you're going to be focusing on money this week, Leo. And guess what? That's nothing new, because one thing that I can say is that Leos, when it comes down to their money, they definitely put the grind in it, okay? You guys are very hard workers, whether people realize that or not. I don't know one Leo that does not work their ass off. And you're focusing on money, and you want to make great investments. Like, you are very hard. You're going to be focused on work this week. Maybe you might be working this weekend. But either or, you are looking at the long-term longevity of your pentacles, like your money and your finances. And I feel like here, you're not going to let, like, you know that having certain people around you might come in between that, possibly. But either or, you're not going to let anybody come in between that. You're going to try your best. Okay? Because you're trying to see results. You may have had a few paychecks where you weren't really happy, Leo, and I feel like you're really trying to make up for that. All right? You're coming out of this like mentality. You also got the Eight of Swords, where you're trying your best just to focus on your own energy and just stay true to your own self, because you're doing some soul searching, because you need to go within about something, which I am going to take a further look into that. But I feel like a lot of it has to do with you trying to get out of some type of mental entrapment, like negative thoughts. Something's been eating you up, and I feel like it's been possibly the people that you've had in your energy, Leo. Because you do, like with the Five of Pentacles, you've dealt with some financial loss, okay? You may have, like, listen, you're not trying to have this happen again, Leo, and I feel like you're very worried, possibly, that, which is why you might get in the Eight of Swords energy, where you might end up having conflicting thoughts this week, which is negative. I don't see that until the end of the week, though, where you might end up having these negative thoughts, possibly, or maybe the weekend. Because I feel here that with you might be very insecure about your finances, even though you are working very hard this week. and you have an air sign or an earth sign that might possibly be in your energy trying to, I feel like you think that this person is going to distract you, which I think so also. What is this air, like, who is this air sign or earth sign? And why are they coming in? Like, this person, it's going to throw you off the way that they come in. You might not even be expecting this person to be in your energy, to be honest. Like, I see here somebody, you might be just walking out of the car at work or something. Maybe you're at work and this person just shows up, or just like you're at home or wherever you are. My tarot deck just fell. Hold on. All right, got my deck. Got a little slippery there. All right. Give me some more information on the air or the earth sign that's possibly in the Leo's energy this week. That I feel like, Leo, you might be a little uncomfortable, I feel. I'm getting here, like, maybe the last time that you talked to this person, it wasn't really the best, or maybe, I don't know. I'm getting here something like that. Okay. You got the Magician and you got the High Priestess. I don't know where that's coming from the Knight of Swords. Give me more information on the Knight of Swords, because this is like something else. Listen, maybe you are a magician. Listen, I feel like here, Leo, you really want to be the creator of your own world. And I feel like you are doing some serious soul searching right now, where you might be partnered up with a water sign, all right? High Priestess. Somebody here that's really tapped in, like 100%. This person and you, like you being the magician in your own world and having, like, I feel like you're starting to realize and get back in your power, where you're starting to realize that you are the creator of your own world, and you don't want nobody taking that away, because here, I do see here in the future, whatever you're working on is going to bring in a lot of stability. And you know that by being with this person. I feel like now we're in this love message. We have tapped into a love message, Leo, unexpectedly. So let me move on to the love message. I don't know where this air sign, Leo. My intuition just advising that you are just going to be protecting, like, a lot of things that you are working on right now. And I feel like, yes, you might have an air and earth sign come in your energy to try to throw you off, or maybe to make you feel uncomfortable. I feel like they just might make you feel uncomfortable because you don't want to be put in the Five of Pentacles anymore, where you are not working on yourself. But I see here that you don't want to be put in a position where you're losing money. And I feel like maybe you were put in a position where you were losing money when you had either earth or an air sign around you, and it might make you feel uncomfortable if this person is coming back. All right, especially I feel here if they owed money to you, or maybe they did something to you in the past that made you feel very uncomfortable and maybe not trust them as much. But I see here, because I see a Leo really working on themselves. All right, it's like giving a lot of, like, healing energy, possibly, because you got the Hermit. And this is somebody here that's wise. All right, Leo, you are wise. 111 just here, 111 on my timer. All right, you might be somebody here that's tapping into meditating. All right, and maybe you were somebody here that did not meditate as much as you probably would have in the past. But I see here that you're looking into different ways to heal, because you are with somebody, possibly, or coming in alignment with somebody here, where you are becoming the magician, the proper magician, where this is like when you are a creator of your own world and you're able to manifest. And you are noticing that when you don't have certain people around and you have your head on right, and you are having more clarity within your life, where it's just you looking at the world in your own glasses, without the rose-colored glasses though, but with your own, like, without anybody trying to manipulate you, you're realizing here that you're getting shit done. And you may have somebody here, a water sign, possibly Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and this person here is very intuitive. And you guys, I see here that you being partnered up with somebody aligned with each other is great. All right. Like healthy. Great. Where you guys have the same morals and you guys believe in the same things, and it's a perfect match when you don't have people coming in your energy trying to be weird. Okay? And this is family abundance. This is wealth. Okay? These are two people here that are highly aligned with each other, that they're pretty much unstoppable. When you have the magician and you all, which is Leo, I'm going to take it as that you are the magician here. You might be somebody here with heavy Virgo placements, possibly. Listen, there's you, the fire sign, all right? You are creating right now, Leo. And the reason being, I feel like you may be somebody here that really was doubting themselves at one point in time. All right, where you felt like you were not able to get out of this mindset because you may have looked at the world like crappy at one point in time. And listen, this does happen with everybody, I think, at one point in time with their journey with self. They we can go through a lot of trauma in the past, right? And then we start looking at life like angry, sad, conflicted, beat up. And then we stop believing that there is a creator and a higher power, or like something of that nature, where we should stop doubting that there even is a God sometimes. Like, I feel like here you were at a point where you were just not giving an F. But somebody here is like, listen, somebody here is really working on themselves. You're out here creating, and you're doing it with the right intentions, and you're starting to love yourself again. You may have been somebody here that really sat in their shadow all the time, and you may have been drinking and overindulging a lot in the past. But I see here that you are working on it though, because in order to get to these stages, well, I mean, we can harm ourselves a lot here, but in order to get to the magician, it comes with a lot of, it comes with stages, just like the high priestess. There's levels to this that people don't understand. You can't just be one out of nowhere. No, you got to move right. You got to do right. You got to do many things. And I see here that Leo is really getting it. You are starting to understand. You might be a masculine. And yeah, you may be somebody here that did sit in their ego. But somewhere this week, you might actually notice something very, like, you're going to come across something very magical this week, I'm getting. Because somebody here is going through an awakening. And I feel like here, you might cross paths with an angel. So just be careful. And I feel like somebody here has crossed paths with an angel possibly. Or you did some type of move this week that was very different than you normally would have reacted. And it might end up being towards some type of situation from the past that involved either Aquarius or a Capricorn. However, because I see here that you've been working on yourself and that you've been stepping away from nonsense that no longer serves you and moving accordingly, you're making moves that are benefiting you, and you might get a spark of magic this week where you will start believing. You may have been somebody here that does believe in magic or the occult, alchemy. But I feel here that you're going to start, it's a shift here. It's a shift where you're going to start seeing a lot of changes going on around you. Good ones. Like, so somebody here is going to be a believer. Somebody here is starting to change, and they're starting to become a believer. You're coming in reunion with somebody. And yeah, it may be somebody here that you was already with. You may have been on a break with them, but I see here that there's been some type of cycle that's been broken, possibly. Or some type of shift where maybe you are, like, because the high priestess is in the upright. Now, when they're in the reverse, that means that they're not playing their part and they're not really in tune with themselves, even though they know that they can be the high priestess. But when they're in the reverse, that means there's a lot of things going on where this person's not using their intuition. They might be overindulgent. They might doing a lot of things where they're really disconnected with self, but somebody here is connected. And I also see that you are in your power, Leo, this week. You're going to go through a shift this week, and I think it has to do with the full moon. Because somebody here is listening to their inner calling, and somebody here got their spark back. You may have had a lot of you may have been self-imprisoned, okay? With the Eight of Swords, you may have been somebody here that was really self-imprisoned in the past with your own thoughts. It's like you was fighting yourself, Leo. But guess what? Because of this change, Leo, you need to understand that even though it's the end of the summertime, you made a lot of progress and a lot of growth this summer. And you may not even realize that, but somebody here is going to realize that, because you're going to come across an angel. You're going to help an angel this week and might not even know it. Okay? You're going to be doing something where you might come across a form of an angel, somebody here. Maybe it might be at the gas station, or maybe just randomly. Somebody you don't know. You might be helping them in some way, shape, or form. I see here you might be giving them money, or maybe buying them food, or something of that nature, where your heart is going to start getting there. It's gotten there already. I actually like your message for this week, Leo. Leo, it's been a bumpy ride, possibly, for a long time for you, but listen, you may have felt like you lost your spark, but listen, whatever you pray to, whatever you believe in, just know that your ancestors, regardless, is reminding you that they still there. They still have your back. They're still there. And you may have felt like maybe this summer you went through something, right, personal, or was battling something externally, which I know how that feels, okay? And maybe you felt like you lost your spark or your touch, but Leo, I'm here to remind you that you did not lose your spark. It's always been there. All right? Your spark has always been there. And you may have been put in some very uncomfortable situations this summer. But this week is really going to be like the beginning of like getting out of some weird cycle that was like going on oddly for you at some point in time. And it may have been just this summer, but I feel like here you broke some type of cycle. You broke some type of cycle over the full moon and the lunar eclipse. And you got your spark back, Leo. It's not personal, it's your motivational message. People's reactions or opinions of me are really not about me at all. People tend to project their own insecurities or fears onto one another. So when someone speaks unkindly to me, I'll remember they have something going on that has nothing to do with me. Always remember that, Leo. You may have you may have had a lot of people here in the past, or even just current past, or just in your life, where they project heavy. It's giving, you've been around a lot of narcissists, okay? But there's one in particular possibly that you really they showed you a side. Many people showed you a side, and you've been around a lot of narcissists, okay? And they project heavy onto you, where maybe your energy was thrown off due to the heavy projection. This is coming from so many different people, possibly. Just pointing fingers. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's you. You. But these people never look at themselves. Just always remember not to take it personal, because it's not your issue that this is something where they have a lot of shadows to deal with. This is something here where people that project can never take accountability. And you may have dealt with a lot of people that never took accountability, Leo. However, listen, maybe people put you in weird situations recently where you were feeling a little insecure about yourself, even though you know who you are already. You may have been put in some really uncomfortable positions, Leo, But I'm here to tell you here that you got your spark back, and now you are back to not giving a F what people think or have to say about you. And that is the Leos that I know. All right. We're going to leave it at that, Leo. I really like your message for this week because somebody here is getting the confidence that they need, and they got their spark back because they once thought that it was lost. Continue being great, continue being amazing, and continue being the creator of your own world, because somebody here is the creator of their own world. And you're not going to let anybody outshine you anymore. Peace out, Leos.